The risers. You know, what kind of a system are we going to have? If we have under tree system, the risers are going to come just out of the ground and no more than 6 inches. We want that head to be close to the ground because we're trying to shoot under the crop. If this were an orchard or a vineyard, well, vineyard wouldn't necessarily be under, but an orchard, and we're trying to shoot under tree, we don't want that riser up 18 inches. We want it down close to the ground. So under tree, we're going to size that riser so that it's relatively close to the ground. Now if we want it over tree, then we have to make sure it clears the top branches. So we have to know whatever the height is that they prune and make sure it's just above the height of the pruning and the growth that they're going to receive during that year so that it shoots over the top of everything. Now again, over tree would be used for cooling. So oftentimes we're going to see over tree applications. Now if we're solid setting other crops, row crops and so on, we just have to make sure the risers are high enough to clear the crop. So if we have solid set potatoes, it wouldn't have to be more than a couple of feet off the ground for the riser. But for the ease of operation of the farming so that the farmer can see it while he's out in the field, we might want a 4-foot riser out there. So it's more noticeable when they're running cultivations and so on. And we will see that happening at times where they will solid set crops of that nature. We see a lot of sod farms are done solid set. They just lay them out and generally they'll be 3 or 4 feet high simply for the operators to miss them when they're out there working the fields. They don't want the tractor drivers running over the sprinklers. Get them up high enough so they're very noticeable. And it's a very common practice to have a 3 or 4 foot high riser, so you got the sprinkler up about this high and you're growing sod. And of course then they make sure that these laterals are in very straight rows so that they're only purging a little narrow strip whenever they go in and harvest. So they only lose a little bit of acreage in the process of cutting that sod. Try to maximize their efficiency without running over those sprinklers.